You know that strange little knot in your stomach when you send a message and then, nothing? No reply. No bubble. No scene tick. Just silence. At first, you check your phone every few minutes, convinced you'll catch them right as they're typing. You tell yourself they're probably busy, that they'll get back to you in an hour. An hour turns into 2. 2 turns into the rest of the day. And then suddenly, it's been 3 days and you're sitting there, wondering if they ever even saw it. Now, imagine that person is Johnny Depp. Not just a classmate, or an old friend, or that person you met at a party once and couldn't stop thinking about. No. Imagine it's him, Johnny Depp. The man you've watched on screen since forever. The man whose characters have pulled you into worlds you didn't want to leave. The one whose interviews make you smile in that quiet way where you forget there's anyone else in the room. The man who, somewhere deep down, you've always thought of as your dream person. And yet, you're looking at your phone and there's nothing. No little gray, typing bubble. No quick, hey, got your message. No playful emoji. Just that blank, silent screen. It's a strange mix of feelings, isn't it? There's a sting, yes, but also confusion. You start to wonder if it's you. Did you say too much? Did you say too little? Was your tone wrong? Did your message even send? Maybe it got lost. Maybe he didn't even see it. Or maybe, and this is the part you don't want to think about, maybe he did see it, and decided not to answer. And the question hangs there in your mind, why? The thing about silence is that it's never just silence. Our brains fill the space with guesses, and more often than not, those guesses lean toward the worst-case scenario. We imagine rejection. We imagine disinterest. We imagine we somehow ruined something that never even had the chance to start. But maybe the truth is far more ordinary, and far less personal, than you think. You see, Johnny Depp isn't just Johnny Depp, man with a phone. He's a global public figure. He's someone who's lived under a microscope for decades. That changes everything about how he moves through the world, and how he communicates. Picture your own phone for a second. How many notifications do you get in a day? A couple of group chat messages, maybe a friend asking if you're free this weekend, a spam text or 2. Now multiply that by 100. Actually, no, multiply it by 1,000. That's Johnny's phone. Every day, messages pour in from all directions: friends, family, managers, journalists, collaborators, event coordinators, charities, complete strangers, and millions of fans from all over the world. Each one expecting a moment of his attention. Each one competing with the next. It's not just a phone, it's a constant stream of requests, invitations, offers, and emotional outpourings. Even if he wanted to, there's no way he could keep up with all of it. It's not like scrolling through a few unread texts before bed. It's more like standing in the middle of a packed stadium where thousands of voices are calling your name all at once. No matter how hard you try, you can't respond to every single one. And it's not just celebrities who face this, even in our own lives, messages get lost. We've all had moments where someone's text slips through the cracks. Maybe we opened it while standing in line somewhere, told ourselves we'd reply later, and then never did. Maybe we were tired, distracted, or just not in the right headspace. Now take that small bit of human forgetfulness, and magnify it until it's no longer just forgetfulness, but survival. Because for someone like him, not answering isn't just about time, it's about protecting his mental space. We live in a world where replies are expected instantly. If someone doesn't respond within a few hours, we start writing a whole story about why. But people like Johnny live on a completely different schedule. Their days are carved into pieces: shoots, interviews, rehearsals, travel, meetings. Even downtime isn't really downtime, because when you're famous, you're never completely off the clock. And here's something most people never think about: sometimes, it's not that they don't want to reply, it's that they can't. Celebrities live with a level of caution most of us don't need to think about. A simple reply, even something innocent, can be screenshotted, shared, twisted, and turned into something else entirely. It can spark rumors, start drama, or put them in a situation they didn't choose to be in. That kind of risk makes a lot of them very careful, sometimes to the point of saying nothing at all. Even if they did want to respond, timing is everything. Maybe your message arrived during a 14-hour day on set. Maybe it came through at 3 a.m. in his time zone. Maybe he's in the middle of a personal situation that no one knows about. We assume that a message is a tiny thing that can be answered anytime, anywhere, but sometimes, the moment just isn't right. Of course, when you're on the waiting end, none of that really matters in the moment. All you feel is the silence. And silence is dangerous, because it leaves room for overthinking. You start dissecting every word you sent. Was the greeting too casual? Was the tone too intense? Should you have used fewer emojis? More emojis? Should you have been funnier? Warmer? Clearer? The truth is, often it's not about the content of your message at all. Sometimes people don't reply because they don't know what to say. Sometimes it's because replying would open a door they aren't ready to walk through. And sometimes, yes, it's because they're simply too consumed by other things. This is where perspective becomes essential. Ask yourself honestly, is your happiness resting on this one person's reply? And if it is, what does that mean for you? Because placing that much weight on one answer, especially from someone you don't personally know, can leave you stuck in a story that might never play out the way you hope. If you ever get the chance to send a message to someone you admire, whether it's Johnny Depp or anyone else, think about making it light and pressure-free. Something real, but not heavy. Maybe you tell them how a particular performance of theirs impacted you. Maybe you share a quick thank you for a song, a scene, or a moment that stayed with you. The key is to make it about connection, not expectation. And don't think in terms of one single message. Play the long game. Maybe it's not the direct message that stands out, but the consistent, genuine ways you engage over time, a thoughtful comment here, a creative tribute there. Sometimes the thing that gets noticed isn't the thing you expect. Most importantly, protect your own energy. It's easy to get caught up in waiting for someone's attention, especially someone you look up to. But the more you invest in your own passions, your own joy, and your own connections, the less power that silence will have over you. Build a life so full that whether you get a reply or not, you still feel complete. One of the most freeing things you can do is follow the no expectations rule. Send the message because you want to, not because you need a reply. That way, when silence comes, it doesn't sting as much. And when a reply does come, it feels like an unexpected gift instead of something overdue. Life is full of unanswered messages. Some of them come from strangers, some from people we used to know, and some from those we still care about deeply. And yes, sometimes that silence hurts. But every time it happens, it's also a reminder, there are people out there who will respond, who will show up, who will meet you where you are. And your energy is better spent with them. So maybe the question isn't, why won't he message me back? Maybe it's, what can I do with my time and my heart while I'm waiting? Because the truth is, waiting doesn't have to mean stopping your life. You can still laugh. You can still love. You can still create. And you can still hold on to the possibility that one day, out of nowhere, your phone will light up with the name you've been hoping for. But until that happens, you keep living. And if you've ever been in that position, waiting for a message that never came, you're not alone. We've all been there in some way. The details might change, but the feeling is the same. And if you want to share your story, I'd love to hear it. Because talking about it? That's how we make the silence a little less heavy. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere out there, someone is waiting for your message too.